Let's talk about the magic ingredient of success. So you don't want to be a technique junkie. You don't want to be someone who spends all their time just learning how to do things and you never do it. You want to be on the sideline with your notepad forever. You want to get in the game. You want to get in the standings. You want to move up. You want to have great things happen to you. And it's easy to overlook where there's so much focus on game plans, ideas, techniques. It's so easy to be infatuated with those things, but those things are probably about 10% of the deal. 90% of it is something else. You know what the 90% is? You. You've got to be the one to make it work, and here's why. That may be overstating the case, but here's why. You have over here the facts. On this side, you have the facts, but the facts, all of the things, all the tools, all the ingredients. If we're talking about cooking, these are, you're in the kitchen, you got the food, you got the knives, you got the ovens and everything. Those are all the stuff you work with. But the deal is you've got to have somebody to put it together. You need the chef. And see, it's the knowledge, the experience, but mainly it's the spirit. Spirit. It's the drive, the spark, the thing that makes it come alive. And all of this has to do with knowledge and experience and things like that. But comes down to you. All right, now we're going to take a look at a mystery that most people don't, that fools most people. Why is it that people, the you ingredient, that people miss this? Why is this a mystery? Why do they not get that? Why could it be easy for you to overlook? Say, I'm going to focus on the game plan, then I'm going to copy what they're doing, their ideas, I'm going to mouth it. Well, when you use somebody else's idea, it's you doing it. You can never forget that. You're going to be putting your twist. Even if you copy it exactly, it's your personality, your facial expressions, your spirit. See, all of this comes in. You cannot get away from this. And so that's why it turns into a mystery, because so much of this is invisible. People can see the checklist, they can see the game plan, they can see the blueprint, they can see the recipe, but they can't see the spirit, the spark. You can't put that down on paper, the personality, the sparkle. So that's what you're going to bring to the table, or it's going to either be a positive or it's going to be a negative. You need to be aware of that. So you want to make sure that you are a positive. You're adding the right kind of spark and everything, because in essence, this becomes the dominant. You are the dominant feature, always. How you use it, how you put it together. Let's just take a look and see how this plays out in the real world. For example, skyscraper. When people look at skyscrapers, here's what they see. Big building. They see all the stuff, and then you see some stuff on top, and maybe the helicopters come in and land, and wow, look at all that. But that's not the key. The key, the thing that comes first, the dominant, is the support structure. It's the thing that has to be in place first, and that is the foundation. And see, this is why in any company, the foundation, or any building, it's the foundation that's poured first. They dig down before they go up. If that foundation is not solid, good things are not going to happen. You're the foundation. of whatever you build, whatever you make. It's up to you. So let's look at that. As you grow, you get started, you build your business, you grow. What happens is that you add to your foundation, you add other people. You can grow. The bigger this foundation is, the more you expand that foundation by adding key people, by training people, by adding more systems and facilities and things. Basically, it's the people at the foundation of all of this stuff. The more you add it, now you create the opportunity to take and build and add more stories onto your. You go higher than you could go. You can go wider, and you can go higher than you could ever do just with yourself. That's what happens to people. Now, what are things that you can learn and be aware of when it comes, since you know that you're the key, you and your key people are the key magic ingredient, mysterious ingredient to success. What are some other little lessons you can tell yourself? Okay, let's just take and go and look at that for a second. Here's some things you can tell yourself to make sure that you don't become your own worst enemy. So here's some things for you to keep in mind, is that the most important thing is to manage yourself. You've got to be able to manage yourself. And in managing yourself, one of the first things is when things go wrong. Now, you've got to go beyond your natural tendency. When we're born, everyone has the same thing. We're born as spoiled brats. We're born, if something goes wrong, we scream at the top of our lungs, and we expect somebody to come in and take care of us. So we're born spoiled. We're born with this entitlement thing. You know, here I am. Something's wrong. You owe me to come in and change my diaper and bring me food. Well, it's a little tough to run a business that way. You're going to have to be a little bit more of a mature. You're going to have to move up to the parenting side of life and be take the responsibility. So when things go wrong, you have to look at it and say, not what's wrong with my people. See, the first reaction on this, because of the way we start, the first start of all rookies running things, if you're a chef, if you're a manager, you're a leader, you're a builder, first reaction is always wrong, and that is blame others. You can't blame others. You've got to say, I'm in charge. I should have watched out for that. I should have trained them. It's my fault. Don't blame others. Say, it's my fault. Okay, this is what you want to do. I've got to fix it. I let it happen. I may not have done it, but it was my fault, and bottom line, my fault. I've got to get better. So I would say this is like one of the first things you've got to look at. The second thing that I would look at in managing yourself is that when you want to quit, you're going to want to quit. All the stresses build up and you want to quit. Now you got to learn how to handle this. You got to learn how to manage yourself. Most of the time it's blood sugar. These are all temporary things. You need to eat. Eat. Your emotions run rampant when you don't have nutrition. The other thing is you're tired, you're worn out, you're stressed. Well, that's your fault too. You let that happen. You let yourself get too strung out without eating. You let yourself get too strung out. Now you want to quit, but that's temporary. Take a nap. Get some sleep. Take a day off if you have to. Have a me day. Have a emotional health. Go to the spa. Get yourself a haircut or something. But go to the movie. Do something. Go to the park with your kids. Have some fun. Take a weekend if you have to, but don't quit. And the other thing is that you realize that, let's see, you got your blood sugar, you got your tired. And the other thing, relationships. You have somebody says something, does something, I can't believe it, how could they? When you're in charge of running things, you're high energy, highly emotional, and it's just, you go from super excited to super depressed. That's why they say most people, high achievers, are a little bit manic depressive. And you get in this thing and you say, okay, I want to quit, that's it, I'm out of here. But no, that's not what you're going to do. What you're going to do, because you're mature, you're going to say, this is all temporary. I didn't work this long, this hard to get knocked out over this. What I'm going to do is keep on. I'm going to get better. In other words, this is my fault. Whatever happened, it's my fault. If it's a relationship thing, rise above it. Find a way with it. Give it time to cool out. Don't make irrational, no, you can't run things if you're going to be making impulsive decision. Impulsive decisions are usually bad decisions. So no impulsive decisions. Give it time. Let it cool out. Get your head back. And so you got to be able to, again, managing yourself, going back to the managing yourself thing, you want to be able to handle when things go wrong, when you want to quit, down to the last one. Here's a real subtle thing that gets people. You have success, and then you start to enjoy it. Nothing wrong with enjoying it, but your mind fades and you forget the fact that nothing in this entire operation is going to work unless you make it work, and you have got to pay homage to the grow or die principle. You can't have your business just stay the same. It's going to either grow or it's going to start to crumble and fall apart. And so for that to happen, you have got to get better. You've got to improve. Now you can start enjoying your success. You can do whatever you want. But what people do is they let the enjoyment become a priority, and they forget that. They forget they've got to keep improving. So you're likely, once you're successful, to forget you must improve. You spend so much time enjoying the fruits of your labor that you stop improving. And you think things will coast and continue. But they don't unless you improve. See, you must improve for the business to improve. And that's what causes most people to get beat. So manage yourself. Make sure that you don't get beat by these things. Realize you're the magic ingredient. Realize you're the one who's got to make these things grow. And go out and do big things.